Blog Talk Radio.
Playing tunes that make you grin. Our music's better than it's ever been. So think of us when you need a show. We're at WIRN, Intercomm Radio.
Dust the dust off of my Bible and pray. I learned how to pray, put an end to this vicious cycle, and maybe find Jesus today. I'm gonna face the faces I'm scared of, question the questions at bay, and praise all I'm aware of, and maybe find Jesus today. I'm gonna dream every dream and doubt every doubt, and decide not to decide. Gonna dust the dust off of my Bible and get ready for one hell of a ride. I'm gonna fight the fights I've been losing, excuses I've made, and mend my soul I'm abusing, and maybe find Jesus today. I'm gonna dream every dream and doubt every doubt, and decide not to decide. Gonna dust the dust off of my Bible and get ready for one hell of a ride. I'm gonna dream every dream and doubt every doubt, and decide not to decide. I'm gonna dust the dust off of my Bible and get ready for one heavenly ride.
I got a cemetery full of dreams. They help me paint this broken social scene. I got a book to tell me what they mean. A kamikaze on a one-way trip. I hold my heart up with this paper clip, that I will not forget.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Paige Roberts Show. I am your host, Paige Roberts, and it is Tuesday, May the 2nd, 2017. Now, my guest tonight is a multiple gold and platinum award-winning producer, engineer Frank Green, and is founder and owner of DigitalMaster Music and Video Productions and SkyTone Entertainment in Nashville, Tennessee. He has also written and produced songs and worked on projects with artists such as Garth Brooks, Martina McBride, the Jordanaires, and a #1 record with Billboard record, should I say, with Kenny Rogers. Before I go on any further, let me bring Frank on. Frank, welcome to the show, and thank you so much for accepting my request to come on.
Well, thank you, Paige. It's great to be here. It's fantastic.
Awesome. I was excited. I know you have done a lot. Too much for me to mention in my intro. So, but I guess the way I usually start things, Frank, and I'm sure you probably know too, that I usually just get you to start out by telling us about yourself and work your way up into your music career and your producing, and I'll hand it over to you.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here, and I appreciate it. And I just to start off those the songs that you played at the beginning. The first one was a song I wrote with Anita Greenie Graves. She's my co-writer. Brand new song. We just finished it, Dust the Dust. And the second song that you played was actually a record that I produced with one of my sons, Oscar, and that was on his EP and his album that was released about a year and a half ago, and was actually submitted for a Grammy this past year as well. But,
I did see.
But yeah, it's great. We've been in Nashville seems like forever, and I must say that we're going on this summer. We'll be married 41 years to the love of my life, Pamela, and we have 3 wonderful kids. Sean, the oldest, his lovely wife, Nicole, and our grandkids, Caden and Cameron, and my son, Jason, who is Oscar, and then my daughter, Miranda, who lives out in Portland. She's the world traveler. So I'm just very, very fortunate and blessed to have such a marvelous family. And I also want to say hi to Dinky, my favorite aunt, is out there. Okay.
Hello.
But yeah, I've been working here for a long time in writing and producing and recording, and just worked for CBS as an assistant engineer back in the day when I first got started here in Nashville, and then partner with Woodland Studios over in East Nashville here, large recording studio, and worked at Sun Records for a while as an engineer producer over there, which is a fun time, and got to go through all their catalogs and look at. One of the jobs was transferring old masters back from the early 50s, mid-50s, to preserve them, transferring them from analog to digital. So that was quite a thing, and got to meet a lot of nice folks and cool folks over there. But
now I have been watching TNT here recently, and Sun Studios. They've had a lot of their older movies on there here recently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're running a show on there called Sun Records, which is kind of cool to see that. Of course, this is the early days, the 50s. way before I was around there. But just to, because having met Sam Phillips, and he used to come up to Nashville because Sun Records moved to Nashville in 1968 when Sam sold it, and it was just great to sit around the table. We had a thing called cocktail hour at 5:00 every day, and the times that he would show up, to sit around the table and listen to these really interesting stories that he would tell about those early days at Sun Records. It was just quite interesting. It was kind of like being a mouse in the corner listening to some of these stories. It was quite fascinating, and I think the from what I know, the storyline seems to be pretty accurate. I actually worked with the guy that is the producer and one of the writers producers on the show. He was responsible for doing the definitive discography on Sun Records, and worked with him on and off for probably over a year or year and a half, something like this, when he was working on that at Sun. And he's the producer of the show on the show.
That's quite bio, Frank.
Well, it's fun. I want to tell y'all, as you might get a kick out of this, one interesting. Before we move on away from the Sun thing, one interesting story. They decide RCA Records and Sun decided to do a joint project. Back, I think Elvis had been gone about 12, 15 years. This was in the late 80s. Decided to do a joint project and re-release all the Sun masters that they bought from Sun. It's the first time they'd actually had a definitive release of that. And they did a video and everything like this. Well, they were trying to find, if y'all remember, for y'all that watched Sun Records, Elvis came in to record 2 songs at the very, his first time he ever recorded anything. Came in to record 2 songs for Marion Keisker and Sam Phillips, and those 2 songs were lost. They were on 2 acetate discs, and they were lost. Well, through some research and detective work and stuff like this, they found them. Elvis had given them to his high school buddy, who they discovered and found he was a retired airline pilot living in Florida. Well, they found him, and when they called him up, and he said, "Oh yeah, those things I got, they're in my sock drawer,
Right. Wow.
So they flew him up here. Yeah, they flew him up here, and he arrived with a briefcase, handcuffed to his hand, limoed him over to the Hall of Fame, to the restoration lab at the basement of the Country Music Hall of Fame here in Nashville. And my job, I was in charge of transcribing these masters, these 2 songs, to digital. Of course, we had analog machines, digital machines, everything set up because we had to clean the masters. And Alan Stoker was the head of the restoration lab there at the Hall of Fame, and so we were bathing these masters, and we figured we didn't know what they sounded like, nobody had heard these. Right. This is the very, very beginnings of Elvis, and we transferred those and put them on, and that went on to become part of, 20, 30, 40 different records and compilations that RCA and Sun and record labels all around the world put out. So it was kind of a fascinating story.
Yes, it is.
Those first 2 recordings.
I couldn't imagine them bringing him in handcuffs. Really?
Yeah. Well, he had to, because the discs were in his briefcase, and the briefcase were handcuffed to him. is and I couldn't figure out if that was a publicity stunt or if they were afraid that someone was going to come up and steal these masters, because he eventually sold them for, gosh, an exorbitant amount of money. I'm certain in New York, but that was interesting.
Yeah, that was. Now, after that, I mean, like I said earlier, I mean that's a long road to hoe. I mean, I've read back on your bios and things like that, and I'm just like, wow.
It's a lot of fun, a lot of fun, and got an opportunity to work with a lot of great and talented people here in town, which is was always fun, and currently working on this is kind of exciting. I produced a project, and I don't know if some folks may remember these guys. They're the Memphis Horns, and they played on, it was a rhythm or horn section. Andrew Love and Wayne Jackson, and they played on all this stuff from the Sam and Dave and the stuff from Memphis and the Stax Records stuff throughout the 60s, 70s, early 80s, and then they went on to go on tour with the Rolling Stones and Robert Cray, blues artist. Well, Wayne, who's the trumpet player, he's the head Memphis Horn. He had approached me in about 1985 to write and produce a record. So we did, and we started working on the record, and then Fred James, Bucky Lindsay, who were a part of the band at that time, we all got together, wrote the songs for the record. Wayne and I produced it, and he just passed away. He's in the Hall of Fame. He just passed away last year. And so these masters have been that I own have been sitting there for a while. So we've had some offers recently to release those. So I've been doing I got them all transferred from analog to digital, and have been doing some remixing and some remastering of some of those that hopefully will be out within probably within the next year or two.
Wow.
It's kind of an interesting thing. They're never before released masters from these these classic guys. So it's kind of cool.
Right. Do you ever sit down and just take a look around and look at everything in your past and your current and looking into the future, and what are your thoughts about your own life like that?
Oh, well, I consider myself very fortunate and very blessed, but not as fortunate and blessed as a lot of folks in the in the music business and everything like this. But I think just trying to continue on, continue the journey never ends. The journey is what it's all about. It doesn't end until we're no longer on this earth. And just feeling grateful and blessed, and want to try to help people as that I can, and I do. Work with a lot of folks, helping them to further their careers whenever I can, because it's the entertainment industry is very brutal and very, very tough, and it's any meeting good people, and it was once described to me is that there are sharks and there are dolphins in this industry. And the idea is that you find the dolphins and swim with the dolphins, but always be aware you can't get away from the sharks but you just have to be aware that they're there, and hope that you commune and surround yourself with enough dolphins to be able to, combat anything else that's there, because it's very, very tough.
Well, I think that was going to be my next question, or something around about like that. What is the key? Which I guess I could ask that question anyway. What is the key to that?
That is a very, very, very good question, Paige. It's a very good question, and the answer I've come up with is, and to quote Winston Churchill, is never give up. Never give in. I think sometimes we get confused that the opposite of success is failure. And that is exactly not the truth. Everyone I know that has succeeded in anything has failed their way to get there. They've gone through many failures. The opposite of success is quitting. And I think that's what Winston Churchill said is, when he was made his big speech, during World War II, is, never give in, never give up. Because I think he realized that once you quit, once you give up, then there's no chance of anything, of any success.
Right.
But as long as you're in the game, you will, you'll have failures, you'll have things, you'll have trials and tribulations, but it's to keep going throughout those bad times, the peaks and valleys, and just never give up. And that's what I encourage people I work with, and young people and things like this. It's like, if this is really what you want to do, or whatever it is you want to do, whether it's a carpenter or a garbage man or a brain surgeon, do it with all your heart and your fervor, and that's what I try to teach my kids. And I have to say I'm very, very proud of my kids. My kids are all just marvelous people and very successful. And as I've taught them, I said, find that thing that you love to do that makes you happy, and then you just got to figure out how to make money at it.
Now, are most of your kids, do you find them leaning towards the music industry? I know your son Oscar is. What about the others?
Yes, well, my oldest son Sean, he has become. He and I started a video company. They were both Sean and Jason Oscar were in the military. They were in the Air Force, and I'm proud of their service. They served their country well. Sean was in EOD, which is a special forces part of the Air Force. And
I would also like to thank them for their services. Also, we do thank them, and we appreciate them very much.
Absolutely, every day. But he and I decided to start a video company. So he, came back to Nashville, and happened to. As soon as I picked him up off the plane that week, there was a show that I was involved in. It was a TV show called. It was like the Session Players, and it was about the A-team session players in Nashville. And I was in there on camera, not as the engineer, with these fine players. And so Sean, I got him on as a grip, which is the person that carries things, sets up things, and does things like that. Well, that we started doing videos for clients that we had, and we spent pretty much every dime that we made to buy equipment. We bought lights and cameras and things like this, and then started doing videos, and they're all you could see many of them on the DigitalMaster.com website. Well, then, long story short, Sean has since become quite in demand and quite successful as a video person, and has gone on to work with on tour with Shania. He did the Shania Twain tour, Oprah Winfrey, and some major rock acts, and one of the biggest pop acts in the world today as well. He just came back from a world tour, so he has done that, taken that to that step, and done very well. And in addition to raising two, he and Nicole, my sweet daughter-in-law, raising two marvelous grandkids that Caden and Cameron, which are great. And Pam and I are just very blessed with Caden and Cameron. And Jason, music, and he's also trying his hand at comedy as well. He's kind of bringing out some of his funnier, his funnier insides, I guess, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
So, and my daughter travels the world, so
wow.
she's doing well.
Well, I know you're a very proud dad. Well, now you are SkyTone Entertainment. So
yes,
and
SkyTone kind of happened, I want to say, by accident, because I'm an engineer, producer, songwriter, musician, video director, and so it kind of happened. We had I was working with an artist, a new artist that back maybe about 5, 6, 7 years ago. And we just kind of made this decision. It was kind of one of these, moments of, let's just start a record label. So we did an independent record label and cut some videos and put some records out, and was fortunate enough to have a top 30 record. Our second record out was a top 30 record, and did quite well. And sold pretty good, and so from that, then it's like, okay, so we signed another artist, and Matt Ferris, and he's doing well. He's performing. He's out in the West. He performs, and he's played at big festivals, opening for Jason Aldean and Blake Shelton. And is doing quite well doing that. And then, of course, Morgan Riley, who was, I think she was one of your first interviews, Morgan Riley. Who's
she's a big supporter, and I really do appreciate her. She really helps us on our show out here. So.
Oh, Morgan's fantastic. She's, a phenomenal singer, and she's just a very, very sweet person. And anybody that knows Morgan, just the things they remember about her is she's just sweet, down to earth, and just such a joy to work with. Her and I co-write a lot, and so it is. She's just a joy to work with. In fact, she was just here yesterday. We're getting ready to release a new duet, and so she was here yesterday working on that. So,
I know.
And then, of course,
Go ahead.
I said, yeah, and of course you had the Leverton Band on. Great guys, very talented, and we did a video on them, released a single, and I think there's more to come from the Leverton Band. Benny, Phil, and Paula. It's like these folks are kind of. They are what makes me want to do what I do, because they're just great people, and it's good to work with great talent.
Well, yeah, we had all three of them on. We had Benny and Paula and Phil on at the same time. That was a hoot. That was really fun.
Yeah, they're great. Phil can be funny. He can be funny. He's a good guy. Yeah. It's good. So we're just looking forward to the future, doing all these do these kind of things. It's music is what we do. So.
Well, that's what I know. That's what I know.
No, I was just saying, you had Brad Christ on last week, who's
last week. Yeah.
Our friend of mine, a friend of Morgan's, and has done some phenomenal video work for us. He's done, I think, 2, 3, 4 videos on Morgan as well. And
I think they're fixing to start on another video shoot. Is it this week? I want to say.
No, it's coming up. It's in about 2 weeks. It's a song that Morgan and I were working on when she was here. I'm going to go to South Carolina and work with Brad and do that. I'll do some directing and production, and Brad will do some directing production. He does the film and editing. Very, very talented guy, and we actually did a hip hop project together, a video together that on a song that got well over 1 million YouTube views.
Oh, that's awesome.
And Brad did a fantastic job on that. So it's really good to work with really good and talented people.
Yes, he is. And, he also created a video for the Paige Roberts show too, and this had well near 800 likes. 800 views so far. So we go to that.
Yeah.
So
that's great, Paige. He did that. That video's great. Absolutely great.
Talking about the future now, do you find yourself wanting to venture out into anything else?
Well, I have. It's like for some of us that are in the music, this is your music is your life. You don't have much else. It's like that's what you focus on. But my hobby has always been history, and particularly the gangsters, the cowboys, and Civil War. So Pam and I travel around, and I've been working on a little show I call Go See Do, and it has not come to fruition at this time. But we've got footage that we've taken. We go to different historical sites, like you were actually there, and kind of we've photographed and videoed some of these sites. And my goal is to put together a little show, little kind of not really maybe a video podcast or something on YouTube or something like this to help show these things to people. So
awesome. Why don't we play a song and then we'll come back? How about we can do Love on You and then we'll come back into the show and finish out?
That's a good one. Very different. Very different.
Yes, it is. I've been listening to it too. So we'll come right back.
Okay.
And I know that what we have is real.
welcome back to the Paige Roberts Show. You are listening to WIRN Radio. We are Intercomm Radio Network. My guest tonight is Frank Green, producer Frank Green of SkyTone Records. And Frank, I think we have a caller on the line. We may, go ahead and bring them in. Caller, are you there?
Yeah.
I'm here. I heard there's like this awesome producer that you're interviewing tonight, and writer and president of SkyTone Entertainment and video guy. Is this true?
This is true. This is true. Who might this be, Frank? Do we know?
Oh, yeah, the mystery guest. I think I could guess. In fact, I think I just heard her singing.
Yes.
Hi, Frank. Hi, Paige.
Hi, Morgan.
Hello. We're so glad
I'm enjoying the show so
in.
far.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you're listening in. We have been talking about some interesting things with Frank, and I heard,
and you're right. He is a history buff. Let me just tell you, our trip to Nebraska, I wanted to kill him. Yeah. I really did. He was like, Morgan, look over here. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so tired. We've been like up all night driving, and all I wanted to do was kill him because I was so sleepy. So he was like, oh, we got to stop here and look. This is where the Civil War thing happened, right here in this parking lot. And I was like, oh, that's wonderful.
Oh, man. Come on, Mort. Frank, we are here up to and see. I like places like that.
Yeah,
Frank
you know
knows
what they
that
say.
I love him. So.
Yes. You know what they say, but those that forget history or don't know history are destined to relive it. So,
yeah. Well,
That
that's probably going to be me then.
Oh.
Now that
Morgan, you did a
sounds-
great job in that song.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. That was fun. That was like a totally different side than country. And I was like, that's me singing? I get shocked sometimes.
Well, we liked it. That is a lot different than what you have been doing, but I was listening to that song. I'm like, well, I like that. Okay.
Well, it's really cool how that happened because Frank, like, it was weird. Like, we both had a dream the same night. His dream was about lyrics and the song, and my dream was actually about music, and that never happened. And I told Frank, like, what I heard in my dream, and he told me, and then we combined everything. And then, of course, Frank is the music guru, not me, because I don't really play an instrument. And he put it all together, and it was like my dream fit with his dream. Is that not magic or what? And
that
that's
was
how
magic,
that song
yes.
came about.
That's awesome. So
yeah,
where do you
cool.
Where do you both find yourself? I know you have things coming up, Morgan. Now, how do you? Are you in with all that, Frank? I mean, how does all that work?
You mean the song and the video coming up?
Yes.
What we're getting ready to do? Yeah. Well, of course, it's a song that this is a song that actually myself and Nita Graves wrote. Very, very fine co-writer that she and I have written tons of stuff. She's her and Morgan. They're kind of just such a joy to work with. And Morgan kind of fell in love with the song, and so we recorded the song. And we just put the male part on here yesterday, and then I'm in the process of mixing it, and then Morgan's going to do a video with Brad and myself here in a couple of weeks, and then we will put it out. And I think it will do well. I think it will because they do a great job. Just did a great job on it. So that's what's coming up for SkyTone and Morgan Riley, the phenomenal Morgan Riley.
That it is. Now, I noticed, I'm trying to remember which one it was, But I do know that you had written was it part of that song, Morgan, or was it part of another song? I'm trying to think what it was.
Frank Green and I, we write together all the time. Like the Collage album, we wrote all those songs together. And as far as the new material goes, we have written several songs for the new EP, which is coming. And we also teamed up with songwriter James Breedwell as well for 2 of the cuts that's going to be on the EP. So we're really excited. We got some really good stuff coming.
Yeah, James is a very talented writer, and we teamed up with him more. I teamed up with him to write a couple of things. And, of course, on the dance tune you just heard, that's Morgan, myself, and the Body Bag Man.
I saw that.
We just call him the Body Bag Man, James. And he's doing the rap section in there, and came up with that like in 5
he's
seconds.
So talented,
it's just great.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like the way he spits out rhymes and lyrics and stuff, it's amazing.
Yeah, he and I are working on. We're in the final stages of an album on with him that he wrote and put together, and I'm helping him. I'm doing engineering and helping him produce it. And but he wrote this just phenomenal concept album that's almost Pink Floyd-ish. It's just very, very cool. Yeah, James is very, very talented. So you see what we do, Paige. It's like we're so fortunate and so blessed to be able to work with talented people and lots of talented people, and it just makes it great.
I know. I'm feeling the love because I'm right in there with y'all, and I really do appreciate you. And I just have a lot of people at my disposal. Morgan is one of them. I know Kottke, that's based with him. She's one of those, and Nita Gray, she's also out there, and we just have the production companies, like Brad Chris and all those that have really stepped up and really pushed us up to another level. I'm so excited. Yeah,
Core PR, Dawn over there, and Anna, just great people. Been a tremendous association with Dawn at Core.
Well,
we love Core PR, and Dawn's a great publicist.
And I'm all the time getting emails from Dawn, and we actually have Ella Brown and Sherry Rowe is also. It's this month, I think. I think one of them is the 23rd and one of them is the 30th. I'll have to look again, but I'm sure that's not right.
Yeah, Sherry Rowe, she's a very talented artist as well. I think she just made top 50 on Music Row. So she's doing good.
But we are.
But there's a lot of talented people out there, and very fortunate to connect with a lot of them.
Well, we're going to be playing music also. I don't know if both of you know Michael Clare.
Michael Stover.
Michael Clare.
Oh, Mike Clare. Yeah, I know Mike. Yeah, I know Mike Clare. Absolutely. We go back.
We are actually we're bringing back the Rumor Has It show, and we're going to be on this network in the morning at 10 a.m., and that's going to be entertainment news and music, and it's going to be Michael Clare and myself. So. Yeah,
you tell Michael hi. Yeah, he's a good guy, and so that'll be, he's I think he's an old ex-wrestler or something, isn't he?
I did not know that.
Well, maybe I told you something you could ask him about back in the day.
I will. I know he has a lot of things. He's an advocate for the soldiers and the vets, and I had mentioned to him that maybe we could bring that into that show, because I know he needs some type of I don't know what the word would be, not format or whatever, it is, that he can promote that. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping this going to turn into this basically going to be music and news from the entertainment world on that side.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. I was glad he accepted that too. But Morgan mentioned Michael Stover. Morgan mentioned Michael Stover, and he's another one that has really brought the musicians out. Between Frank Green and Michael Stover, I have never ran out of guests on my show. So.
Yeah, Michael's great too. He's a great guy. Great guy, absolutely.
Y'all are all
and you can always Facebook. You can always Facebook James Breedwell. He's done a lot of good things too. I'm sure he'll be on your show.
Yeah, he just did a project with the Turtle Man. You've seen the Turtle Man show up in Kentucky? I did a video, and James wrote a song for the Turtle Man, and they just did a video and recorded the song, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
You all have been very fortunate, and like I said, I'm glad I'm in the same circle as all of you. So,
absolutely,
we are glad
yes.
to, Paige. Yes.
Well, I know you, Morgan, have. Well, you have really got in there. You've really backed me too, and I do appreciate that. And I know anytime I've ever asked you if you wanted to come on, you've always said graciously and said yes. So we do appreciate.
Oh, you're more than welcome, Paige.
But
so did you tell her about your? Did you tell her about your Elvis Masters? Was that the very beginning? Because I was like 10 minutes late.
Yes,
I thought I missed that. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
we talked
good.
about the Elvis stuff. Yeah, the new the Elvis stuff and the Memphis Horns stuff. Yeah, that's what's. That was what's coming up. That's pretty cool.
Frank Green wasn't modest,
Never, right. So where can people find you at, Frank? Tell us where you're all on your media sites and everything, and your website.
SkyToneRecords.com, SkyToneEntertainment.com, and DigitalMaster.com. And they can see some of our video work on DigitalMaster.com and listen to some of our stuff there, and on SkyToneRecords.com, SkyToneEntertainment.com. They can see some of the artists that we're working with, listen to some of their songs. And, of course, that's linked over to MorganRileyCountry.com. And you can kind of hear what all is going on in the SkyTone Digital Master world. So come and visit, drop us a line, send us an email, and contact with us, connect with us on Facebook. And I think we're going to have we're looking at what our entries are going to be this year for the Grammys. We're looking at some of the things that we're going to be doing. And hopefully this song that Morgan's working on will be something that we will be submitting as well.
Yes,
so,
almost done.
Do you have anything else you want to say, Frank? I know I usually ask this question. I asked Morgan this question too, and I always ask because I know I have our young musicians out there that are listening. I have quite a few actually that follow us and follow our show, and I was just wondering if you might have any advice that you would like to give them on their music careers.
Well, yes. I would like to tell folks that are just getting started out there is that to learn your craft or your art, learn what it is. If it's songwriting, listen to songs, listen to the radio, and learn how to do that. If it's engineering, find a school to go to. There's many of them in the country. When I started, they didn't exist. Now there's many of them out there. Learn your craft, study your craft, and don't become mediocre. Become great at what you do. become great at what you do. And for everyone out there, I'll maybe leave you with this thing right here. I quit college mid-semester, senior year, to follow my dream. And of course, at that time, a lot of folks, including my parents, said like, "What are you doing? That's crazy. You shouldn't be doing that." Blah blah blah. So I did that and followed my dream. But 5 years ago, I went back to college to finish those last few hours and got my degree. I only needed about 12 hours, but I went back and got that, and so to finish up that college degree. So the point of it is, it's never too late to do anything, but do it and do it right. Do it right, do it ethically, and put your heart and soul into it, and you can't go wrong.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you, Frank, for coming on and talking to me tonight. And I want to thank Morgan, too, for popping in.
Yes.
Oh, you're
thank
very
you, Morgan.
welcome.
And thank you, Paige,
guys.
very much.
You guys have a great night.
Thank you, Morgan. We appreciate it. And Frank, too. I think we will go out. Let me see what I have left. We'll go out with this change. How about that?
Perfect. Thank you again,
cool.
Paige.
Love you both. Talk to you later.
Love y'all, too. Thank you again. Bye-bye, y'all. Thank you, Kathy.
Bye. Thank y'all. Bye-bye.
Bye, Kathy.
Bye-bye.